And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of What Now? I am putting this question here. My guest today is the amazing singer, songwriter, producer, basically all-around artist, Charlie Vox. And I am so excited to speak to her because it's not often that I have women in my talks, I've noticed. So I'm trying to make it more diverse. And the pandemic is still going on, so it's still a what now situation. But on top of that, we're also dealing with all the anti-racism protests, and we're living in a weird time right now. So I really think it's even more important to have these inspirational and motivational talks because people are checking out mentally. They don't know how to deal with situations, viruses, and of course, the worst virus of them all, racism. So I think it's really good to stay positive and to look to people that inspire you or things that inspire you so, you can stay sane a little bit. And I see Charlie's entered the room, so let me get her in here. I'm so excited to talk to her. It says unable to join. So, Charlie, I see you, but I can't send you a request. So, I'm not sure why. Maybe you can send a request. Let me know if there are any troubles, because normally I am able to send you a request, but it says unable to join. So, I'm not sure if it's your device or something else. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Get your Wi-Fi together. I hope everyone is doing okay. Like I said, we're all dealing with crazy worlds right now. Society's gone mad. And so please make sure that you stay okay, healthy, and all of that. Okay, let me see if I can do it now. It still says unable to join. And it literally just says that. Like, it's really weird. Can you send me a request? Did it show up when you entered the live? Then it should give you like a little box of send a request to join my live. I'm not sure if you saw it. Scroll up. If it should show up once you enter. There we go. Yes. It's awesome. Thanks everyone joining us. I'm happy that you could be here on this Monday.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, girl. Just trying to survive everything that's going on over here.
Right. and like I was saying just earlier in my introduction, like these talks for me are so important because it's positive, it's motivating, it's inspiring, and that's what people need right now.
Absolutely.
And I can also throw in the whole aspect of the protests and stuff, like how creative people are dealing with that, and if it triggers you to make different type of music or whatever. But we'll get into that. First of all, I never knew who you were. So for the people that are joining us, we're not friends because normally I know the people that I get in here, but I became such a big fan of her thanks to Curtis. I think Curtis posted something, and I've been putting Intentions on repeat. I was just playing it again. That song was so me. And I was like, who is she? So I was like Googling everything, and I did remember Random Acts. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like 10 years or so. Okay, maybe not 10 years, but I was like, that's her. Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
You had a whole career.
I've had a whole career.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? I'm thankful for my journey. I'm definitely I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for where I am in my walk right now. Yeah.
And for me, it's amazing to discover people that have been doing their thing. Working with new artists, they're always scared that, once I put out a song, I'm moving on to the next song. And I always tell them, your music should be timeless. Whereas when people hear it 10 or 20 years later and they don't know you, they're still going to check your whole discography, so to
Exactly.
speak. And so for me, it's always great. And I feel like, oh, why didn't I know about this person? But I guess I kind of knew.
Yes. But no, I love discovering new music like that as well. Like, so many of my friends, you know, they point me in the direction of different artists. And I hope that's how people discover me too. Like, you know, you might have been listening to some other station and then all of a sudden you trip upon my music. And it's like, oh, wow.
Definitely. And then, you know, with social media, following certain people that put you onto new music, like Curtis always posts like all these people that he's worked with or that he's a fan of, and so I discover new artists through him all the time. And but I remember Intentions was out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just felt it. Sometimes it's just that one song that triggers you.
And you know what, I try to write from an organic space. Like, I try to write what I feel and what I feel that other people are feeling too. And most of the time, I'm feeling all types of emotions. So yeah, I just try to be honest when I'm writing my songs. I write a lot of songs with Curtis, so you know we've been best friends for a very, very long time. So just, you know, writing with him is easy because if I'm explaining to him how I'm feeling, and then he knows, you know, writing a song exactly, he knows how to fall right in there with so yeah, I try to keep my lyrics organic.
Yeah, you can, as a fan, you can tell if something is genuine or not, because that's what resonates to, you know, the listeners. One of the songs that is definitely something that is great for this time is Heal. It's, you know, it's just a general concept of us, the world having to heal. Of course, you know, you can always interpret certain lyrics a certain way, but it, you know, you can apply it to whatever. And,
absolutely. And I mean, just piggybacking off what you're saying, like when we wrote Heal, I was on the heels of a breakup, and I was in my car, and literally the words just rushed in. Like, they just rushed in. I just was honest with myself, and I was like, I need some time to heal. I'm having a breakdown in the car, and I'm, you know, hitting the steering wheel a little bit. But then I was like, wait a minute. Like, it just, you know, these lyrics were coming together. I need some time to heal, get a hold of how I feel. If I want something that's real, I need some time to heal. I immediately called Curtis and was like, so we gotta write this song, right? We gotta write this song, right? So yeah, and I mean, that's literally how the songs come together, just like that.
And that's how I felt a week ago. I felt it's too much what's going on in the world, you know, having to deal with the realization that I've dealt with microaggressions all my life and haven't responded to it, just dismissed them. Everything came at once, falling down on me. And so I felt like I need some time to heal, to stay sane, not even to heal, just to make sure I don't have to come to a space where I have to heal. So that's definitely a song that I felt like, let me just promote it here, people. Check out Charlie Vox with Heal.
And I appreciate that so much. I do.
But I want to know, because you've done so much, I want to go a little bit into how you started, because the songwriting is a big, big aspect. And when I was doing my research, when I first found out about you, I was like, okay, she's a singer, because I knew you as a singer when I first came across Intentions.
Right.
But then you're a songwriter. So what was your first, how did you get into the music industry the first time?
So I think people are just looking for like this amazing story, like, oh my God, I was discovered.
I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking for truth.
But it really happened, just like, I guess it is amazing because it just kind of happened. I have been singing, you know, just all my life. I never really thought I could sing. And then I entered this pageant, Hal Jackson Talented Teens. And I didn't want to be in that because I was scared. And my mother was like, no, you're going to do it. And then you let me know if you don't like it once you try it. And I was just like, oh God, okay. So I entered this pageant, wound up loving the process. It was just an amazing process, just the camaraderie with the other girls and really finding my talent, like finding out that I could sing. I wound up winning. So, you know, that kind of gave me a little bit of a push there. But still, I wasn't confident in myself. And my cousin, I have a cousin who's a rapper, he was explaining to me, he was like, listen, you know, you don't have to wait for other people to cheer you on. You know, you do it yourself. He was like, you know, I know you got some writing talent. I have been writing for a very, very long time. Like, my mom would read me these fantastic stories that I just made up when I was younger. So he was like, Leah, here's some break beats. You know, come up with some songs. You know, at the time, Mary J. Blige was popular.
Oh, yeah.
And she was, you know, writing songs, or, well, you know, writing and singing songs on top of break beats. And I decided to do the same thing. And then the songs just sound good. And one of the producers that my cousin hooked me up with at the time actually started working with Death Row in California. So he took my little demo, was trying to get me a deal. And then all of a sudden, my songs just started getting placed on other artists. And it was like, oh, that's a career too? I didn't know that. Like, at the time, I didn't know.
And it's funny that you say that, because still people don't understand that. So it's good that you mentioned that. Yeah. They
don't. And, you know, I often hear, like, rappers, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but we're in a woke generation now, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm about to tell everybody everything. I hear a lot of rappers, a lot of songwriters say, you know, oh, I ghost wrote for this person, I ghost wrote for that. But you're not a ghost. You're not dead.
Right.
That's a total career. You know what I mean? Like, you can jump into that career.
You're a writer. Yeah.
You're a writer.
Yeah.
You're a writer. So write. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a ghost writer. You can write songs.
And you're just not credited.
Exactly. You're just not credited. And you should be credited, because that credit is worth more than the amount of money that you're going to make off the song.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, you know, giving away my age somewhat, you know, when I was buying music back in the day, the first thing I would do is read through the booklets and the credits to see who was playing the instruments, who was writing the songs, and I would often be surprised, like, oh shit, that's that person that I know from that, and I can't do that anymore. That's one of the things that I miss. But so the term ghost really came from people that didn't want to be known as not writing their own songs, and they would use ghost writers. That's a whole different thing than being a writer. At all. Right. So, but okay, so your songs got placed everywhere, but didn't you feel like I wanted to sing the songs? Was it important for you to keep the songs, or was it more important for you that, hey, if they want to use my song, that's okay too?
Right. So the thing is about creating your own music is that I never felt like I would run out of songs. You know what I mean? For myself. So I felt like, okay, if I write this song and then it gets placed on this artist, then that's fine, because I always have other songs that I can use for, you know, myself as an artist. In doing that, I started to create a sound, you know what I mean? Which I still feel the world needs to hear. So maybe one day, you know,
And speaking into existence, it'll happen.
Right, exactly. But in doing that, I never felt like, no, I got to hold on to this song. You know, once you create, it's just kind of like, it's out there. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to, you know, just be able to have my art just, you know, it just run free. You know what I mean? So if an artist wants to cut something, that's fine. Let's just make sure we get this publishing straight and get the coins right, and then
exactly. Don't give it away for free
in the credits.
But how about if you write something that's like even Heal, because that's your own song, that was so personal for you, that was a situation that you went through at the time. Would you would you sell songs that are very, you know, particular about your situation? Because I can imagine writing for people, just generic stuff that everybody can relate to, but your own personal situation, that's different.
Well, I would say no. Absolutely. If an artist was interested in performing one of my songs, like I said, I write from an organic space. So I feel like that particular situation in Heal is something that, you know, a lot of people have gone through, and a lot of people are going through. And even though it was a relationship song, it doesn't necessarily have to be translated as a relationship song. It can be, you know, it could be about anything. It could be about
today.
It could be about today. It could be about what's going on right now. You know, this is something that, you know, people that are experiencing grief in any fashion,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, that they can sing and at least find, you know, some solace, like, tag, but somebody else felt like this too, to write these words. And that's the way I want all my songs to transcend. Like, I want people to listen to it, like, man, I was feeling like that this time last year. You know what I mean? Or however long. You know,
but that's the thing
anymore.
That's the thing with music. You know, I've had some terrible situations in my life, and music was always the thing that got me through everything. Not just the happy times. You know, you have songs that remind you of, hey, I was, you know, in high school or whatever, but you also have songs that remind you of maybe a not so good time, but the song helped you through it.
Right.
You always look for a song that you can relate to, and then you keep playing it, so that heals in its own. For me, at least. I mean, I can't speak for everyone else. I think it's a beautiful thing that you say that, you know, you just want your art to be out there. So writing for other people, or not necessarily writing for other people, just writing and then having other people being interested in that. Had that at that point when your cousin, well, shout out to your cousin, or we wouldn't know about you. Did that make you feel like, okay, I'm going to do this, and not necessarily want to be a singer? Did you feel like you had the option to be more at once at that time?
I think at that time I was still thinking, well, this songwriting will help propel my artistry, like, as a singer. And I mean, that changes over time. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't become so important to be out in the front. You know what I mean? Like, the song is out in the front. You know what I mean? Like, the song, having a great song will make a great artist sometimes. Most of the time. But, you know, it all starts with a song. I remember having a publishing deal and doing a lot of writing in Nashville. And I think that's where I learned, I know that's where I learned that it all starts with a song. Like, it starts with the song. It starts with the lyric. I mean, we would sit in sessions, and these sessions would go on forever because we're just trying to get the right lyrics. Yeah. I'm just like, can't we just say by the street? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, it's another word for street. There's another word for street. We got to think of it. And we'd be sitting there like an hour later. I'm like, I'm hungry, y'all. I done said by the street like 2 hours ago. But, about a word. It all starts with the song. Like, you could be a dope artist, but if you don't have the songs, then it's like, okay. That's what the difference is between creating a hit and creating a song. Absolutely. The lyrics are people underestimate the power of writing, and I mean, if we listen to mumble rap today, sure, there's no real power in it, but that's because those songs are meant for the club and to just do nothing. But if you want to come across with emotions or messages or touch people or whatever else deeper than just partying, then you have to come with some real stuff. Absolutely. You have to have some substance. Like, you have to have some meat on the bone. You know what I mean? So do you feel like people that have no experience are not necessarily good writers, songwriters? Like, I don't know, if you're 15 years old? Nope, I won't say that, because I feel like everybody comes with their own experience. Yeah. And there are a lot of people that come up with these amazing novelty songs. And I'm only calling them novelty songs because, like, I'm talking about, like, the chicken noodle soups and what else? Like, even Nelly's had an amazing career, but it all started with Downtown, Baby, Your Street, and you know what I mean? That's so those little tears that we used to do just playing games, you know what I mean? Like, in the neighborhood. So, and I'm not saying that he doesn't have any experience at all. I'm just saying, you know, I'm using it as an example. Yeah. So just little songs like that, like, those are things that, you know, they take no thought. You know what I mean? Like, you can just come up with an idea, you know, just like that. So it doesn't take a lot of, this isn't rocket science. You know, you just want to make people feel have to have the talent and the nose for it, at least. Yes, exactly. So what was the turning point for you in your career, for the defining moment for you that you felt like, I can live off of this, and this is it? Okay, so the turning point for me in my career, I'm not trying to show off anything, but I was trying to get that in the shot. Other than Rihanna Flex. Wow. That was definitely a turning point in my career. Yeah. That was definitely a turning point. I had visited Canada. Well, I've been to Canada a million gazillion times, but this one particular time in particular, Curtis, who I feel is a little intuitive, a lot intuitive.
Oh yeah.
He was trying to get me to get to Canada to this writers conference. Okay. And I kept saying, no, I had class. I was in school at the time. I'm not going. I have midterms or final, whatever it was, something that I could have just, you know,
waited.
Which I wound up doing anyway, asking him if I could take it early or later. I can't, it was something like that. So he was like, girl, you need to get your behind up here to this writers conference because, you know, you just need to come. And I was just like, I can't afford it, number one. Number two, I'm taking some exams. So he was like, I don't care. I'm just going to get you a plane ticket and we're going to go. Well, you're going to go because he was already up there. So I get there. The writers conference was amazing. I wound up meeting all these amazing musicians, producers, and I was in a session. I had an idea for a song on the plane. So I'm saying to myself, oh, I'm going to do this song when we get there, when we got some downtime. Wound up recording that song. And I said, oh, excuse me, I'll be right back. I'm going to the restroom. I walk out and I hear this guy playing this lick on the guitar. And I was like, what is that? Can you play that one more time? I swear, it's just like God just will lead you in the right direction.
Right.
So I was like, can you play that again? So he played it again. Dun, 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 dun. I was like, okay, I'll be right back. Went to the bathroom, went to my session and told them, whoever the engineer of the session, I was like, listen, I'm going to come right back. I just got to go talk to this guy real quick in the hallway. Went out there, brushed up on my Romeo and Juliet real quick, and wrote Final Goodbye in the hallway. Just like that. Just like that. Yes, it was literally lightning in a bottle. So
it was the combination of things around you and the timing and boom.
The timing is everything. I had to go pee.
Yeah.
So,
had you not drank all that water,
right,
then maybe.
Exactly. Right. So went to the restroom, met this guy, we wrote a song, boom, history, just like that.
Right.
We wound up cutting that song. The demo was done for a few months, and then we wound up meeting a Canadian artist at the time. Her name was Leah Renee, and we were working on her project. And as we were working on her project, I suggested that she record that song. So she recorded the song, and we were shopping her demo to Def Jam at the time.
Right.
And the song just landed in Rihanna's camp. So, yeah.
So the singer actually didn't use it.
No.
So you were shopping her demo for her being an artist.
Yes.
And then the song got sold off to Rihanna.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. So you didn't actually get to work with Rihanna.
I didn't actually get to work with Rihanna.
Because I was going to ask about that.
Stars, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so
awesome.
So that was for you the turning point? And
that was the turning point.
Yeah.
That was definitely the turning point. Yeah. Because before that, I had placements, but it was kind of like, okay, on this artist, on that artist, but then it was like Rihanna. Was like,
right.
Yeah.
And so did that help you? I guess it's kind of like a resume thing, like, hey, you did this for Rihanna, and so now that opens more doors for you?
Yes, absolutely. So once I did that song for her, then yeah, the songs just started going. They just started going. Yeah, it was just like a resume. Absolutely.
Right. And so basically we have Curtis to thank for that. I know that if he tells me to do something, I'm not going to say no. I'm just going to drop everything.
Yes, you just better drop everything and say, okay, what time do you need me to be?
Right. Where do I need to be?
Exactly. Just go. Because he hears like these angels are talking in his ear, and they're like,
right.
Tell this person to do that.
He does have a really good intuition for those things. Like
yes,
the people that he's paired me up with exception of one person, always work out. Like
yes.
he knows. He just
does.
He has that experience as well.
Absolutely.
So going into your singing career, okay, so I see questions coming in. There's a question box. I want to get to the questions as soon as I get a chance.
Okay.
Because I don't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation. So people, if you do have questions for her, please put it in the question box below and I'll get to that. So doing the songwriting, at what point were you actively pursuing a singing career again?
So it was at the same time. It was simultaneously. So yeah, I never stopped pursuing a music career. So yeah, right. it was always, okay, singer-songwriter Charlie Vox. But in my mind, I really wanted to just be singer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there came a point where I was just like, no, you know, songwriting isn't bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we were saying before, this is a legitimate career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was always doing it together. I was always doing it at the same time.
And so what was the turning point for you as a singer? Did you have one already?
So I haven't had a real turning point
Right.
as a singer. I still perform, I still gig. COVID has really slowed all of that down. But there wasn't really a turning point. I think at this point in my career, like where I am with music, I just want to expand and stretch out and do other things. I've always been that type of person that had like a million things, like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. So I think at this point, I'm trying to, you know, just touch on some of those other things that I want to do because, you know, life is short. I think this year we all learned that life is short.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So do what is in your heart, do what's in your mind, do what's on your spirit. You know what I mean? And it'll always come back to music and singing.
Music,
yeah, that's my first love.
So going into the whole COVID-19 thing, the reason I started this talk was because I saw creative people, singers, songwriters, artists in general be all like defeated because everything is shut down. So I started this talk to motivate people, to inspire them, to let them know they're not alone. Everybody is experiencing this. And so what has been for you the biggest impact from this lockdown work-wise? So the biggest impact for me has been actually performing, like having an audience to perform for. Now, it's been really cool, like, you know, seeing these artists perform on Instagram and, you know, using this platform, like social media as a platform. But there is something to be said about being in the
close proximity, with people. Social distancing has been very difficult for me because I'm a very social person. I'm definitely with the staying in the house. Like I can be a total introvert, but when it comes to my art, like you have to be present. You know what I mean? Like I like to feel people. So the performing aspect, I miss that a lot. I posted on my page about a few days ago that I miss singing, just standing there and just belting out a song. You know what I mean? I just miss it. So that's
feeling that energy,
the most impactful.
Feeling the energy from the people, that's something that I've heard a lot of performing artists say. Like it's one thing to sit in front of a screen and have people look at you, but you don't really get that interaction and that energy from your audience.
Exactly.
And what you need in order to give the best performance. Really.
Absolutely. And I really, really miss that. I miss that. There are a few gigs that I had that were lined up for the top of the year, but they wound up getting pushed back toward the end of the year. And I'm just praying, like, you know, they keep talking about the second wave, which I just am like, all right, well, we might as well get ready for it. You know what I mean? But I'm just hoping that I have that opportunity before the year is through.
Over, Yeah, it looks like over here they're already opening up theaters and clubs for for an audience of max 30 people. So it's not really profitable for big theaters and clubs. So we'll all have to see how that plays out. But I have friends that are doing shows for like a limited amount of people, which also makes for ticket sales to be sold out instantly. Because I'm like complaining to my friends, like, wait, I didn't even know there was a show already. Now it's sold out for the next few weeks. I'm upset because if you can only invite 30 people, then boom, it's sold out. And and you can't do VIP or extra treatment because there's not more people allowed.
Absolutely.
But they are opening up, and so some of them are also streaming the shows, and then you pay online or whatever. But it's just, we'll have to see how it all works.
You know,
so you were already saying, you know, when it comes to your art, you're a very social person. What has the impact been on you mentally and physically?
So mentally, you know, in the beginning, like I said, I was all for this. Like, what? Y'all saying just stay in the house? I got this. Like, this is going to be easy for me. I think around maybe day 10, I was just kind of like, oh, this is for real. Okay. Okay. We really not, like, we cannot go anywhere.
Right.
Okay. And then maybe about day 20, it was like, we can't go nowhere. Like, the only place we go is the supermarket and gas station. Oh, okay. And yeah, and especially just dealing with your family in the house.
Yeah.
Kind of like, just trying not to beat y'all up in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, and they trying not to beat me up. So it's been difficult. We've been going for a lot of walks.
Yeah. Walking is the thing now.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing. COVID-19 it sat us down.
Yeah.
It sat us down. And that's the one thing that I think a lot of us were not able to do. We were not able to sit down, not only just be with ourselves, which is most important. Because how many times do you have all these thoughts that are running through your mind, like, oh, I have to do this, or I have to do that, or I have to get to this, I have to get to that.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
And you just don't get to it because you're always going, I got to go to work. I got to go to the gym. I got to go to this. I got to go to that. I got to meet with this person.
I got to answer this email. I got to answer the call. I got to answer the app.
And then on top of that, I have to do this for this person. I have to do this for that person. This has shown everybody you don't have to do anything for anybody.
Right.
You need to focus on you and yourself and your household. That's it. And then I'm sorry to keep on rambling. I believe that COVID also set us down, and we started to pay attention to what's going on in our country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because all of this stuff has been going on here in the States.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in all parts of the world.
Yeah, all the dirt comes out now too over here.
Oh, honey, yes. Yeah. All the dirt is coming up now, seeping to the top because we have time. We have time to sit down. All before people were like, "Ooh, that poor black boy got beat up by cops." Oh, wow, that's just terrible. You know, another hashtag. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now there's nothing else to do. You weren't going to work.
Yeah.
You weren't answering any emails. Nobody's emailing you. All we're doing is watching TV, and we are watching what has been going on just unfold before our eyes, and people are mad as hell. They mad.
People are frustrated. People are mad. It's like they're already locked up. They can't do anything, and now it's like this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Really.
Absolutely.
And it's the same thing over here because I saw people posting about, well, Amsterdam, thank you for standing with us in solidarity. And I'm like, well, we did, but we kind of have our own shit going on over here. Like, we got racism out here. We got systemic racism out here. We have the IRS profiling us. This guy committed suicide because he got profiled by the IRS and didn't get the same chance as somebody else did. So it's to that level. And then it was not until a couple of days ago that the national news finally reported on this man that got killed by the police over here in March. Same way George Floyd got killed. So yes, we stand in solidarity with everyone in the world that's dealing with this. But initially, we have our own little mess to clean up, especially with I don't know if you heard about Black Pete, the holiday we have.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's a year-long fight already. So... And I know this year is going to be, that's going to be even worse because of all of this now. So it's heightened, and, which is good, but it's not banned yet, not even after all of this. So we'll see what happens come November, December. So as an artist, does that trigger you to, well, not necessarily trigger you, but does it make you think about making music in this time, basically putting a stamp on this moment in history with your music? Because I know one of my artists that I work with was hitting me up like, hey, Pay, I really want to do a Black Lives Matter song. And I thought that was great. And he actually hit up Curtis. He talked to Curtis about it as well. So I'm like, okay, well, that's awesome. I mean, I don't necessarily want you to do it, but if that comes from you to contribute to the awareness, then sure, yes.
Right. So absolutely, it makes me want to write for sure. It definitely has me reflecting on songs like Heal. I have another song that I'll be releasing soon as well. So that'll be soon. But yeah, same vein. Like you start to think like, wow, I have a song for that. Wow, I wrote a song about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So absolutely. And like you said, music has a way of healing. It has a way of, transcending all that's going on and at least giving us some type of artistic band-aid will,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Something that will soothe you for just a moment, even if it's just for the moment.
Right.
But I've also started writing more poetry, which basically can translate into, you know, music. But I'm like, you know, tapping in on my inner Maya Angelou. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it seems like, you know, these times are what call for, you know, your art to shine through, because you're creating from such a raw space, from raw emotion, you know. So I have been creating.
That's awesome, because it's, for me, it started with Corona. People are now creating out of a place of lockdown, social distancing. Their art reflects this time in history, their music, their whatever they're doing, whatever you are. It doesn't even have to be you being a creative, but everybody in 10 or 20 years from now will look back at this like, what did I do in that time? Or you tell your children or your grandchildren like, hey, I survived COVID-19, and you tell your story about how you did that. So me, I guess I'm a creative as well. I'm a writer, and I do these interviews. So for me, this content that I'm creating now to help people through this time, that's my way of putting my stamp on this time in history as well. And I do believe that the worst times have shown in history to make the best art and you know, things that heal. And like you said, even if it soothes you for a little time, that particular song or piece of art or book or whatever that soothed your soul will always be that, give you that feeling. When you hear it 5 years later, when you read it 10 years later, you'll remember that feeling you had. Just like when you listen to that song from Boyz II Men, when you first fell in love with this boy in school. Right. If I listen to that song again, I think about that guy. Right. He might be a fool now, but it doesn't matter. It takes me back to that feeling. Absolutely. So this is another time in history where I feel artists can really make their mark.
Right. Just speaking to that, artists making their mark, I also feel like, so I was in DC this past weekend, and being there was very different from what we see on TV. So, you know, you're seeing all of these protests, people mad and angry and and yes, people are mad, people are angry. But yesterday I experienced something very different. It was almost like a Woodstock feeling.
Oh wow.
People were together, people were just happy to be around one another. We have one common enemy, you know what I mean? And we're all just like, no, F that, F them, you know what I mean? And we were just kind of like all in solidarity, all different colors. And I said to myself, you know, artists aren't getting together to perform on, you know, these huge stages, but artists can go to these protests. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think artists don't understand, or maybe they do, that you have a platform, you have a voice. So if you are on whatever side of the coin when it comes to these issues, you know, you can put a mask on, head out to these events. You know what I mean? We're out here. You know what I mean? So, you know, you can come on out here too. I've seen people out here singing songs. You know, there was a DJ out there yesterday. People dancing. You know, this is when we need artists the most. You know what I'm saying? To say, wow, I walked in solidarity with so and so and so. I walked with this person. They were up there, you know, talking and you know, throwing out a chant, because it affects them too. You know
it does. And it's funny that you say that, because the media out there is obviously portraying a whole different image. Over here, all of our protests, all of our big cities have done a protest in solidarity and against racism. So they've all been peaceful. They've all been, I don't want to say happy, because the cause is not happy, but you know, people also seeing each other again because we've been inside. And there have been stages where people perform. Like one of my friends, she's an artist, Sarah Jane. She just released a song called Miracles of Melanin. It's an amazing song. And she performed it during one of the protests in Amsterdam on a stage where 15,000 people gathered for this cause. And there are no fights. There's no violence. There's no rioting. There's no looting. It's just people showing up for a cause that needs to be, you know, handled and be dealt with in our system over here, but everywhere in the world. So her song is amazing. It's I'll send it to you, and then
please do.
Yeah, Miracles of Melanin.
Okay.
I did see a question come in from, let me see. Oh, there's 2 questions. So, okay, I can't read the whole. Okay, here you go. How more of Canvas? Okay, yes. How has music preserved your love for your Black girl magic?
I love that question. Hey, Candace. Hey, Summer Girl. How has it preserved my love for my Black girl magic? There have been times where I felt like, and I'm looking off because I'm just thinking, there have been times when I felt like, you know, I wasn't good enough. You know, people critiqued my art and they, you know, said it was whatever it was, you know, you're this type of artist, or you're too fat, you're not cute enough, you know, just make you feel all kinds of ways about yourself. Even you're too dark. There comes a point, and it's so funny because my good friend Angelique Sinalu, today's her birthday. She actually
I saw that.
Yes, you know Angelique. So today's her birthday, and she actually made a post that said, you know, just, you know, rein in and hone in on your Black girl magic. You know what I mean? You just have to believe that you are magic, baby. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, damn what anybody else says. Right. I have magic up in here, going on up in here.
You do.
Okay, and everywhere I go, I sprinkle a little bit wherever I go. You know what I mean? And whoever doesn't like it, then
you don't have to take it.
You don't have to take it. You don't have to look my way. You
it's
don't have
free.
to be a part of all this magic that's going on.
Exactly.
Right.
That's awesome. I did see her post. Yeah, I sent her a happy birthday today. I didn't get to meet her when I was in LA last year because Curtis introduced us. Because I think she was out of town, and I was supposed to be in LA for my birthday this year because my birthday is coming up.
Wow!
But Corona, so I'm stuck here.
Honey, and a civil war. We having a whole civil war over here.
I know.
Okay. Yes.
So there was another question. When they let us back on out, do you have any upcoming shows in New Jersey?
Oh my goodness. Okay, when they let us back on out. I love it. Yes, I do. At the end of the year. Also, not only do I have a few shows coming up that I'll definitely keep you all posted about. Yeah. I just don't want to throw out any dates right now because those dates can change. Last year I was actually working on a movie called Lit.
Cool.
Yes, and that movie should be coming out very soon. Once again, COVID has pushed everything back. But you can follow the IG page of lit_the movie. So that should be coming out pretty soon. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that are coming up like toward the end of the year. And I think that's when everybody's just expecting things to kind of get back to whatever normal is going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so just check my IG page for all the dates.
So follow her and check for the information. So just to make sure, you've worked on this movie on the soundtrack, not as an actress.
The soundtrack, and I was actually an actress in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Then I just wanted to make sure so I know what to look out for. So one of the questions I have is, what and who or what situation inspires you? Like, where do you get your inspiration from?
I get my inspiration from all sorts of places. Definitely what's going on now is definitely inspiring. I get a lot of inspiration just off, you know, feeling just what's going on in my life, things that are going on in my personal life. Also, just by seeing other people's circumstances, like people that are close to me, I really can get just a stroke of inspiration from anywhere, honestly. There's no pinpointing it. It's just kind of like, I might hear a song and I'm just like, oh, hold on. I'm inspired to go, you know, do something with that. Or, oh, wow, it's so sad. You know, let me write something about that. You know, it'll stick with me. So, yeah, there's no one particular thing.
So you're actually, I'm going to say, you're one of the lucky ones then, because you know, a lot of people lost their inspiration because of what's going on now, and they have to tap into, where did my passion come from, or who or what inspires me, what situation inspires me. I'm actually a person that had a lot of adversity in my life, so I always know how to deal with things. So this whole Corona situation, yeah, it's not cool to, you know, be social distancing and stuff and lost a lot of income and work. But I've always been in this situation where I have to find solutions for my situation. So it's not as bad for me to deal with it. I mean, I don't want to deal with it, but hey, we have to.
Right.
And so my inspiration comes from everyone else that is also just picking themselves up and doing what they need to do in whatever form or way.
Exactly.
So for you to say I get inspired from all kinds of things, that so basically didn't change for you either. It's just new inspirational stuff.
New inspirational stuff. Absolutely. I just want to touch on something you said. I remember somebody calling COVID-19 the great equalizer. And
wow.
Yeah, girl. I've been watching the news, honey. Somebody called it the great equalizer. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, yeah, it kind of is. Because it doesn't discriminate. You know what I mean? Like, if you catch it, you got it. You know what I mean? And in saying that, I feel like how you said you've come up across all types of adversity, so you know how to deal with it. There's some people who haven't.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like COVID-19 and the Civil War, what's going on civilly here in the United States, there's something that's going to touch you in some way. That's going to change you in some way. And if it doesn't, something is wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. Because you need to feel something that is going on right now. You have to. There is something so real about the energy that's happening right now. And the funny thing is that we all can look at footage of the civil rights movement or things that have gone on.
But we're not experiencing it.
We're experiencing it. This is happening. I think people are like, oh, if I lived back then, I couldn't, you know, I would never let. We're living it. We're in it right now. This is it. So whatever you said you was going to do back then, you should do it.
But
just go ahead and do it.
That's exactly why, you know, when white people say, oh, slavery was 400 years ago, get over it. We're now in the same situation. It may not be literal where people are tied down on a plantation or whatever, but we're living it. So for them to have to experience what's going on right now in their face, even seeing a man being murdered by the police, that has to do something with you. Like you said, if it doesn't trigger, then you're just a psychopath. You're emotionless. Or absolutely. And it's the same thing with COVID-19 sitting us down. If you don't take this time to reflect on either yourself or the world or your situation or whatever you have going on, then something is also wrong with you. And I'm not saying we all have to do incredible things, but just sitting with yourself, thinking about how you can be a better person, how you can make the world a better place, or even if you hate your job, how can you change hating your job for you? I'm not saying everybody has to be an activist for social equality or whatever, but just for yourself. If you make yourself a better person, that's already a contribution to the world.
Absolutely. A huge contribution, because you're not a mean, shitty person. You know what I mean? Like you're adding some positivity to the situation, to the world, you know? And so being in an unhappy situation right now, it shows, like, I know people that are in a 9-to-5 and are scared to give up their comfort zone. But there is no comfort zone. COVID-19 showed there is no comfort zone. Anything can happen. Has been
so you might as well take this time and like, I don't want to do this job. Maybe I should do something else. Take a risk, because you have nothing to lose at this point. And if you are happy doing what you do, then you're probably a happier person for everyone around you as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's definitely something. I know that there are people watching that are either in the creative industry or singers or songwriters or aspiring to be. Do you have any advice for these people? Because you said it happened through your cousin. It kind of, you know, it's a great story. It just happened. Do you have any advice for those that are trying to get their career started or start somewhere?
So I believe those things happen kind of like by, oh my gosh, magic, it happened. Because at that point I was following my passion and moving in a direction that God wanted me to move in. So I think you can, I know for a fact, you can't fight the elements. Like, you can't fight it. Just don't try.
Amen.
Right? You know what I mean? So if you are moving in one direction and everything is telling you, don't go in that direction. do not do this. You have all kinds of blockades. That's not always like, oh no, I still got to hustle and go that way. No,
right.
don't. Go this way. Maybe something is redirecting you to go this way. And in redirecting yourself, you will find the right path.
Right.
So it might start off like me. Like it might start off, I wanted to be Whitney Houston when I grew up. You know what I mean? But I'm not Whitney Houston.
Right.
And that's fine because I'm Charlie Vox and I love who I've become because I allowed myself to move with the wind. Like I'm, you know what I mean? Like fish, when they swim in Taoism, you're not swimming like the water is taking you, like the water is moving the fish. So you have to be mutable. You have to be able to be teachable. You have to be able to, bend with the wind. If the wind is pushing you to the left, move to the left.
Yeah.
But if you move to the left, move with some groove to the left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't make it look like it's like, oh, I gotta move to the left. You know what I mean? Like, move with the wind. You know what I mean? And you'll find your way. You will definitely find your way. Like I said, it might start off one thing, but it might transition into something way more amazing.
Right. That's what I always say. If one thing wasn't meant for you, then maybe there's greater things meant for you. And what I have learned, as a woman, I'm sure you can relate, we're all on this time pressure of having to do certain things, like have to have a family, you have to have kids, you have to have the career, you have to have everything. Now, me turning 42 this week, I've over the past years,
78 was great, honey. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I try. I mean, I have no kids. I might as well,
enjoy your life.
Right. But so over the past years, I made peace with the fact that wasn't the plan for me. If it's not God's plan, then he has a different plan for me. And whether you believe in God or something else or the universe, it doesn't matter. But I've learned to make peace with whatever it is that I have to do here on this planet. Yes. And it may not be the success that I want, but I may still be successful. There's no society or world or universe that says everybody at age 25 is going to be successful. Just because you want to be and you see other people do that doesn't mean your success is not somewhere in the future.
Right.
And success is a definition that's different for everyone else. Like if you want to be a mom and a housewife, and you've accomplished that, then that's success. If you want to be a millionaire and you made your millions, then that's success. Mm-hmm. But success is not defined by one thing. And that's something I try to tell people. And I guess I'm in a position now to say this, especially to girls or women, young ladies, because I'm 42 and I may not be anything that people wanted me to be when I was 16, maybe not even myself, but I'm very happy with who I am as a person.
Yeah.
And that's, I think we all have to strive for that and follow the path that we've been given. And then your success will come to you. And follow your passion. Don't ever give up on your dream.
Never, ever, ever.
Never.
Even if it becomes a hobby, just do it.
Right.
Because it gives you happiness. It'll give other people happiness as well. Yes. And just to, go back to what you were saying about being successful, I don't think success is a destination. I think it's the whole journey.
Yes.
So listen, I like you. I don't have children. I'm not married. Yeah. Somebody might look at me that's younger and be like, well, what do you have? What you got going on? Or other women might look and be like, where are you in your career? Actually, I'm really happy.
Right.
I really like myself.
I love myself too.
Yes. And I mean, just the mere fact, girls like us, women like us, we have to find those things. Like, guess what? I could just get up and go whenever I want to. I can hop on a plane.
Come to Amsterdam.
Okay. Yes, exactly. I wish I knew you last time I was there. It would be awesome to just meet up.
Right.
But, yeah. So, we have to find things that are wonderful with us. Like, some people get to go home to their families. That's wonderful. Yeah. But I get to go home and it's quiet.
I know.
You know what I mean? Right.
I get to look at tickets whenever I want to.
Exactly.
I get to spend my money on these new sneakers without having to worry about my child not having food.
Thank you. That's right.
There's just
it might not be like that always, but I'm going to enjoy this time right now while I can.
Well, and then the most important thing, like you said, you're happy with who you are, who you've become. And I think that is definitely an advice to give anyone, whether you're an artist or not, but especially for artists, it's hard because you get compared to to other artists all the time. I mean,
Right.
for people, it's already one thing, but as an artist, you feel like you have to be different. You have to be unique. And I always say, and it's so cliche, but everyone says that just be you, do
Right.
what you want to do, genuinely make your art from a passionate place, and then it'll come to the right people. It'll fall into the right people's hands, whether it's the fans or the industry people. It will work itself out.
Mm-hmm.
If
Absolutely.
that was meant for you.
Yes,
I've truly enjoyed this conversation. I honestly want to see you perform over here.
I would love to. Yes, I would love to.
But I'll definitely find a way to make that happen once, you know, all the gates are open again.
Yes.
And
I'll definitely be on a plane headed over, girl.
Right. And you know, girl, you can crash over here. We can go party.
I'm with it. Exactly.
And
We have kids.
I know, right? I'm saying.
Right.
And so I'm definitely grateful for Curtis for putting me on to you. I don't think I told him that I was going to have this conversation with you. I think he saw that on Instagram.
I called him a little earlier and he was like, I didn't know. And I think
I haven't really talked to him
some kind of ways. I had to smooth that over a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta hit him up because we've just been all over the place. But
yes.
I think it's wonderful to connect, and especially in this industry, as women, we have to support each other. And I don't know why I don't have a lot of women on my talks, because people just don't get back at me. And so if you have people that I should have in my talk that have something to say, please recommend them to me.
Absolutely. I sure will.
And so I'm looking forward to hearing your next single. I'm looking forward to the movie.
Yes.
Everybody, you can all find it on her Instagram, Charlie Vox Official. All the information is on there. Is there anything, a life motto that you want to go out with?
I just want to tell everybody, listen, we just need to, this is one time in time that we need to stick together. We need to focus on the issues at hand, and we need to focus on those issues and making sure that the generations that come after us don't have to put up with the same crap that we have been putting up with for 400 years plus. We really, really need to make some differences, and we need to use our voices. If you're an artist out there that's listening, use your voice. It doesn't have to be a song. You can get out here. You can talk to people. Run for office. You know what I mean? Like, do things like that. You know what I mean? Like, we need some real change. We just need, and we also need some prayer. I don't care what religion you are. Get on your knees and you need to pray. If you don't believe in God, you need to be asking the universe for whatever you need to ask for, because at this time we all need to just extend our spirits to positivity. We just need to all focus on positivity right now.
Positive energy, because this energy, like you said, is weird. This, like, we feel it here. Everyone feels it. This whole energy on this planet is just weird.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's draining.
Yes, it is.
Is it Mr. Shaolin Fantastic Four? Just wanted to ask what movie it is. Can you mention the movie one?
Yes, so the movie is called Lit, L-I-T, and you can find the page for the movie at LIT_the movie. The movie is really, really cool. I've never worked with so many talented people in my life. Like, these people are so talented. I thought I could dance after, you know, the movie was over, but yeah.
I'm gonna watch now.
Yes. It's
all
really, really good.
I'm getting the countdown from Instagram, so we've been talking for an hour already.
Yes.
Again, thank you so much, Charlie. I'm a big fan. And we'll definitely be in touch about some other stuff. And people, check her out. Stay safe.
You too.
Stay healthy.
You too.
And much love to you and the whole environment out there. And we'll talk.
All right, everyone. You be safe, and much love to all of you out there as well.
Yes, thanks everyone for tuning in. Be safe, and I'll see you guys soon again.
Bye.
All right, bye.